So what is a brand? Explain what a brand is and why it's so important.
All right, I'm going to say it's the experience an existing or prospective patient has from start to finish, and in every possible way. Example, online, in person, over the phone, etc., when dealing with your dental practice.
Right. So
is that the right answer?
That's the perfect answer.
All right.
I mean, staff deliver your brand, but they're one part of it. The way your office smells, the way your office looks, the way your website looks, the messaging, the words that you use, this is all reinforcing a single brand. And as I described a man's dental practice, you could take that niche strategy and apply it in so many different contexts and attract those ideal patients to. Step 1, strategy, niche. Step 2, develop a brand. Not just any brand, a brand that's going to go viral. And enter the second book, Contagious. Why things spread. 6 steps. Cool things spread. I will talk about John Allen's over and over and over again because they're cool, they're unique, nobody else is doing what they're doing. Triggers. When I think, I gotta get my hair cut, I'm thinking, I have to go see Sam and he's gonna charge me $15 and do an okay job, and I'm gonna go to his no-frill salon, or I go to John Allen's and get a whole experience.
And even if you have a hairline like myself, you can still go there. It's still worth the experience.
Emotion. What do you feel? What's the message? The message could be one of 3 general things, either fear, lifestyle enhancement, or awe. Okay, and we're going to go through a lot of this, so it's going to be basically burned into your brains. Making the private act very public. And again, I'll just go through the 6 steps. There's got to be practical benefits. A lot of people just go straight for the practical benefits. I'm going to buy this car because it's going to get me to A to Z, it's cost effective, it's comfortable. But that's one of 6 things, 6 steps as to why you're going to end up with this car, right? Finally, there's a story. And so if you take all these 6 steps, you develop a brand around it, it will spread. And we'll talk about how to spread it in the last segment. Now let's go through some examples. How many people have heard of this bar called Please Don't Tell in New York? Anybody? Okay, you see the little dog, the Criff Dogs establishment in the bottom right corner? 2 guys, Brian and Chris, in '99, started a hot dog place. And it was doing pretty well. They also had a liquor license, and Criff is just what happened when Brian was trying to say Chris's name with a hot dog in his mouth. That's why it's called Criff Dogs. Anyways, they wanted to use their liquor license to have a bar, so after years of negotiating with the bubble tea place beside them, they got this space and they said, oh man, there's like 60 other bars within like the radius here. How are we going to promote ourselves? And I believe it was Brian, he went to an antique shop and he got this old phone booth. And this old phone booth is very unique because when you go inside and you pick up the phone and you press the number 2, a back door opens up and you can enter. It's like a secret passageway. So they took this, they put it in their restaurant, in the hot dog joint. There's no signs, there's no nothing, they don't advertise. And what happens is you go in, dial 2, you go in, and this is what you see. You see an amazing bar. And it's booming. Business is booming. They've done 0 advertising. It's called Please Don't Tell. Social currency. It's cool. That's why people spread. Okay, here's another one. Barclay Prime. Who's heard of this place? I think it's in Jersey. Okay, so they're a steakhouse, and they said, we're going to make the world's greatest Philly cheesesteak sandwich. $100 for this. What's in it? You got foie gras, American Wagyu, caramelized onions, truffle cheese, and you get a bottle of champagne. Again, social currency. It's cool. Nobody has a $100 cheesesteak sandwich, so they don't really need to advertise, do they? It's cool. Triggers. We talked about going to John Allen's. Something in your patients' everyday lives that's going to make them think about you. Kit Kat. Kit Kat wanted to enhance their campaign because this whole, give me a break, give me a Kit Kat thing was getting old. So they decided that when you go on a break and you have your coffee, we want you thinking about having a Kit Kat. They're affiliating 2 different things together, and everyone just goes out and says, oh, hockey and beer, peanut butter and jam. It was all done on purpose, people. We just didn't realize it. So, and this is a great way to transmit your brand and your message. How many people have stayed at a Westin hotel? Hands up. What does it smell like as soon as you walk in? Sorry?
Kind of eucalyptus smell, right?
It's called white tea. And it makes you feel amazing. Whatever it is, however bad you feel, as soon as you walk in there and you smell whatever they're pumping in the air, it's amazing. You can actually buy their products, right? Your life is better because you're smelling and inhaling these things. Now think about your practices. What do they smell like? Old carpet, fluoride? Emotion. We need to take advantage of people's emotion. Here's another example. How many people have heard of Groupon? Okay. Good. None of the young guys? You guys want? Jeez. All right. Groupon. The emotion that they trigger is fear. Fear of missing out on a deal. You got to get this deal. There's a timeline. It's an amazing deal. Come on. And then the next person says it. The next person. BMW. Oh, do I even need to tell you people how great a job BMW? What does BMW make you feel? What does it make you feel?
Feels like you're going to have a high maintenance payment.
Sorry, we're
But they kind of hide that.
so are we talking about the car or the specs?
Yeah.
I saw an ad last night at the sports bar there. BMW has branded the two-person luge for the USA team.
Interesting.
So
They're trying to maybe a
Fast, smooth, steady ride,
affiliation. Yeah.
winning.
Do you guys have you seen this character? The Dos Equis, the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah.
Second most after the
I mean, if you want to be very interesting and have amazing experiences and be surrounded by beautiful women, you just have to drink their beer, right?
Exactly.
It's the emotion. How many of you have seen this commercial with Jean-Claude Van Damme in between two Volkswagen trucks doing the splits, and they're going backwards? You've got to see it on YouTube. It's 2 million hits, and he's just like this, and then he's talking. He's like this. He's like perfect, and then he does the splits while they're driving backwards. And the whole idea is Volkswagen is trying to show how great their new systems are at being so smooth and impeccable that he could have died because they weren't going slow either. Insanity. Who's heard of insanity as a workout? Did you do it this morning? You would have done it with me. And tomorrow in the gym, 6 o'clock, I'll do it with you. The idea here is that they're taking something very private, which is working out in your basement, which is because this workout routine doesn't require any equipment. It's just cardio, high interval, and they're taking a very private act of working out in your basement without anything and telling everybody about it, because if you do their program, you get a shirt. You're walking around with a shirt that says, hey, I did it. I got the shirt. And everyone looks at the shirt and says, whoa, what did you do? And it's insanity. And then the message spreads just like that. Something very private, like men's health. Someone came up with the idea that, I'm going to take the private act of growing a mustache and affiliate it with something and make it very public. And they've raised millions of dollars for cancer research for men. Livestrong, wearing a band on your wrist all of a sudden means something. It's a very private act gone public, right? How many of you walked out of Louis Vuitton or some other place? I'm looking at you, Ursula. Weren't you there yesterday with us? Did you guys walk out with bags that have the branded logo? It's a very private act, shopping, and yet everybody now knows where you've been. Practical benefits. What is the practical benefit of going to the Westin Hotel and sleeping in this particular bed?
comfy.
Comfy? Okay, what else? Is it going to make you rejuvenated in the morning? Is this the best bed ever? About 5-10 years ago, the hotels all got into a huge competition over who has the best bed. And they upgraded all their beds, 600 stitch cotton, Egyptian cotton, plush pillows, and they made a huge deal out of it because they wanted to sell the idea that practical benefits of having a good night's sleep come with this hotel. So if you stay here, you will benefit. The practical benefits, I said, this is Sean T, by the way, the guy who's making us work out tomorrow, of doing this routine is you can get abs like him in 60 days. You don't need any equipment. As you can see, it hasn't been working. That's because I indulge in tequila and chicken wings. Practical benefits of using TurboTax versus an accountant. It's obvious. You do it from home, it's cost effective, and lots of other practical benefits.
It's not as good as the accountants in the room, though. Don't forget that.
For complex transactions, yes. McDonald's. What's the practical benefit of McDonald's is? Ursuline?
Why are you picking on that?
I just love them. Okay, it's decent food, it's cheap, it's fast. Fast. How many McDonald's are there? There was a recent commercial, did you guys see it? By McDonald's, a guy goes out everywhere and he's just asking for directions, and nobody speaks English other than him. And he's like, McDonald's. And oh yeah, McDonald's. Everybody, India, you know, across the whole world can point him in the direction of the McDonald's. It's everywhere. But again, I'm just trying to put into your minds the 6 steps: social currency, triggers, emotion, public, practical benefits, and now stories. How many of you guys know Jared from Subway? Lost 240. You know him personally?
No, I know of it.
Oh, okay. 245 pounds. He lost. He's made $15 million over 15 years being their spokesperson. Wow. And it all happened because he was obese, walked into a Subway and said, I'm only having turkey sandwiches, pulled the mayo. 6-inch with some baked chips. What a great story to spread. How many of you guys have seen this YouTube commercial, Dove Evolution? Ursula, you haven't seen it. You guys have to see it. They take this girl on the left, they doll her up, and she looked good. They take some pictures, and then they use Photoshop to do things like make her eyes bigger, make her nose smaller. It was crazy. And so Dove did this to spread the message that, you know what, real beauty counts. Steve Jobs, an Apple computer has a plug. I'm not going to pull it out, but you guys all have seen it. It's magnetic. And the idea came to Steve Jobs before he passed away in 2006, I believe. He saw that Japanese rice cookers had magnetic plugs. Because can you think of the catastrophe that would happen if you're walking and you trip over a cable and your rice cooker with all the rice and the boiling water spills everywhere? Catastrophe. And he said, you know what? A lot of people complain about doing the same thing, and they take their laptops down and the laptops smash. So he came up with a magnetic plug. What a great story. And that's one of many, many, many things that he did to make Apple and his company grow. The final point, because I know we're running low on time, you now know, niche it, brand it, spread it. So you've come up with a plan, right? You're going to go after a certain patient, and you know exactly the 6 steps to do it. How do you get that brand, that message out? Well, guess who this is? This is me and my family. Everybody knows 3 types of people, as per the Tipping Point, the book that I just showed you. The 3 types of people are
mavens, connectors, salespeople.
Okay. Who is a connector in my family? My father-in-law, Amu Akbar. This guy knows everybody. It's 4 degrees of separation from Amu Akbar, not 6. He knows everybody. And so he talks about everything to everybody. Mavens. What are mavens, David?
The people like me who know everything.
And,
is that right?
Well, they know information.
Yes.
So connectors, they know people. Mavens know information. And they're always looking to get you the best deal. It's every week, it's a new deal, and I got to be buying it. And I'm like, why? And then salespeople. I don't know. I thought I was the best salespeople person in my group. And obviously the last thing is find handsome people, because they can spread your message really well. That's my son, by the way. His name is Michael, and he's 1.